I'm Andrew, and I work for Tealium. We do customer data platforms, so we connect data so that you don't have to, so you can connect with your customers. As far as myself, I would say majority of what I've done has always been sales driven. So whether it be the actual in the field stuff or being part of the training and coaching side of it. So learning to be like a train the trainer so that you can go out and train on negotiation skills or whatever that would look like as far as whatever's needed as far as the skill is concerned. And then from there, I did a bunch of government stuff, and now I'm on the enablement side with Tealium. So really the sales enablement, technical sales enablement, LMS, everything you can think of that comes along with training or enabling a team. It's definitely a program, right? I think that too often we get focused in on like one thing, whether it's an LMS or having training where they're actually doing their job. It's a program that starts from everywhere from onboarding all the way up to advanced selling skills, advanced knowledge, like Highspot, how we're pitching, framing conversations, making sure that every part of what a sales rep's going to do, there's some version of coaching and training that's involved with that process. So if that's LMS driven, if that's role playing, if that's recordings, I think that it all incorporates that. So it's everything from the onboarding to tools and training, methodologies, content and assets, what we're using in those moments. I think it's definitely the framing, right? It's the content, it's how the customer perceives our business, right? Before we had digital sales rooms or portals, however you want to state that, it was like sending them a document, sending them a PDF. That's just not good enough anymore, right? So sending them a microsite. Understanding for us how Highspot works is our teams can actually cater that message. We can make it seem like there's a Japanese word and I'm forgetting the word of it, but it's really like it's over the top customer service. It's catering every message, everything that they touch with your business is catered towards them. So it's specific to them. It's like the specialty, right? It's making them feel special. All of that comes into it. And so I think that's what Highspot helps us do, is to make sure that when they go to that portal, when they go to that digital sales room, it's all about them, that we understand their use cases, we understand them as a customer, what they're looking to accomplish with it, what that return on investment looks like, what the value is that we're bringing. That's the most important thing. So that's how Highspot helps us. And it's really seeing it from its different views, right? Each customer has their own wants and needs, and finding out what that is and making Highspot's little portal match that is what Highspot helps us do. Enablement it's like I said, it's a program. So when it's a program, it's all encompassing. And I think that for us, you get like just these small moments to be able to help your team. So I think that for us, it's really starting there. It's all timing. Just like with a customer, right? You have 5 minutes to really make it, 30 seconds to make an impact. So what we do with Highspot is to be able to have one spot where they can go and they can grab a play. Once they grab a play, they can grab an asset. Once they're done with an asset, you can choose your email pitch. Then you can choose what template they view it in. So for us, it's making it as impactful and as quick as possible. They don't have to search it out. We have one place that they can go to, an internal digital sales room, right? Where they can grab those assets real quickly and push them out as quick as possible. They don't have to be an expert. They can be a newbie. They can be anything. So they can go in there. They can grab it by a systematic steps, because we've created it as a steps program, almost like a paint by numbers. That's what Highspot has allowed us to do, so that now we can make a seasoned rep and a new rep look just as polished in the market. Most of it is making it, what do you say when it's part of your job? When you have to adopt it as part of your job, right? It's like, it's your right hand. So I think that for us has been the case, is to say certification, right? You have to get certified on a play. And I think that Highspot has that within their LMS system, right? And so here's the plays. And so we do a tell, show, do method, right? So you tell them what you're going to do with them, how they should be doing it. You show them how they're going to do it. Now you make them go do it. And I think that that's the process that we really take when it comes to the adoption side, which is like, okay, here's our play, here's all the things that you should know about it, and then here's all the assets that you should know about going in and doing it, and then moving it from there. So that's, I mean, to get 82%, we just don't know what that metric looks like. But I think that most of it is if you give them something that's exciting, something that removes parts of their job that they don't have to go do, if you can save them 5 minutes, if you can save them a minute of the 5 minute they're in there, I think that you've done your job. And I think that that's probably what's led to the reoccurring usage, is that they understand now that if they get into Highspot, they're going to find something that's of value to them, and it's going to remove a necessary step for them so they can continue to sell. I think that there's a statistic out there that 80% of what a sales rep does is administrative. If I can change that by 5 or 10%, that's 5 or 10 more percent of people that we can go out and get into a conversation with. We're just now getting into the process where we can start to gauge that, and that's through things like Clary, through Groove, so that we can see the holistic side of it, not only from an asset standpoint, but how well those campaigns work, and then how that converts, and it looks at what revenue it's actually making a change to. So for us, it's been more so about the amount of customers that actually go to those sites, and those views, I think, is for us where we are at this moment deciding what that metric looks like, right? Because if you can get somebody to get in and look at a mutual action plan, awesome. If you have somebody get into a mutual action plan and actually change something on that mutual action plan, 50% better close rates, right? So I think that we look at it that way, is that Highspot is a means to get to there, and we're going to have to backtrack at some point and figure out what other reps do this well. But with the portals, with the digital sales rooms, the reps that do it well close bigger deals. When we closed a $5 million deal at the beginning part of this year, that rep is in Highspot every day. She builds portals for every one of her customers. She makes it more effective to where each section has its own RFP section, your implementation, a lot of the stuff that has been new to the template side in Highspot. So those reps that do it well are doing it in Highspot. Oh, geez. You make it seamless and easy. So a lot of what we've done is take the templates that you have made available, and then we brand everything. So everything goes into our branding. Everything is based off of specific pictures that we do, right? That really tell, right? A picture's worth 1,000 words. We can put 1,000 words on a sheet, but you can do one picture. I think that that's the idea, is to make it as impactful as a picture as possible, but then making it as easy to navigate that portal as possible. The little new buttons on the top of it where you can click and it takes you down into a section is brilliant. It's much needed, right? Just like the being able to hit the end or home button to go back up to the top. I think of finding a way to make it about how they're going to perceive that message that you're giving them, I think for me is what's made it more successful. So the branding is the biggest part. I want them to be able to figure out what assets they want to put in it and be done. And so the more that I can get marketing and the collaboration with the team to understand exactly what's meant in the body part of it, and then choose the assets from there, is what's made it the most successful. Not to have them dig again. Like we have it to where if you're a seasoned vet, you can grab the asset, the play, the pitches and all that stuff. But for us, it was about creating a holistic approach to one-click button that would relate to the assets, relate to that portal, and just understanding that as we see where people are scrolling and moving to on that document allows us to better cater what that document looks like, right? If a majority of the stuff they're doing is down below, that stuff should probably be moved up. Or depending upon the customer, if you want them just like a grocery store to have to walk through all the yummy stuff before they get to what they want, it's just about understanding the customer. Really, Highspot is the way we see it, as the way people are receiving the message and the way they're interacting with the message is our Highspot stuff. The way they're engaging that would be the Groove and the Clary side, to understand what assets work well and how they're doing it, but then incorporate that into how we're delivering that to them is the rest of the tech stack. So the important piece is getting them the information, but also need to make sure that it resonates correctly. And I think that's what Highspot allows us to do, because not only can it be from an internal standpoint, we can also see the viewing and how impactful that is from how long they're viewing it on the Highspot side and see it all clearly right there. Gosh, just use Highspot. When I first started 2 years ago, really taking a hold of Highspot, it was a mess, right? I think no governance, no spots that are policy driven, no owners over those, no one saying that they have to put any type of responsibility to those that are uploading documents or how they're being consumed. And I think for us, it's making sure that you start from that standpoint of understanding the governance piece long before you start putting everything in place. So for us, Highspot was a mess, and your team has been amazing. Carly, Alex before her, who's no longer with the company, are great resources because they've allowed us to ask questions on the customer success side, right? Is to say, how can I better do this? And so the willingness of the team to be able to like come around you and make sure that you're using it correctly, or there's better things that you can do, sitting down with the adoption side of it. Like you mentioned, the 82%, we didn't really know that until we sat down in a QBR, or know that what's the next step for us, how many assets are in there that are being consumed or not being consumed. I think that helps, right? Because a rep, you get like a minute before they've moved on and their attention span's somewhere else. So being able to cater that down to where it's a journey for them and it's a quick journey has been amazing. So that's what Highspot's done for us.